Oh man, let's see if I remember how to do this. What's up guys, Ricky Arnold here, and I am finally back from Air Force BMT, and I'm here with a brand new haircut, a brand new hoodie, and a fresh perspective on what Air Force BMT is like for 2019 and beyond. So stay tuned, and I will give you guys exactly what kind of happened to me, and I'll answer a bunch of your guys' questions that you guys left me while I was gone. Let's go. Alright, so first off, before I get into anything, I need to make sure that I say this. So, disclaimer. Anything that's said in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. This has nothing to do with the Air Force. This is not the Air Force's opinion at all. So anything that is said here is my personal opinion, my personal experience, and it will vary from person to person. So if you watch this video and you think exactly what I'm saying is going to happen to you, you're wrong. It's going to be a lot different for you. Some of the things may be similar, but everybody has a different experience, and I'm sure you'll hear that from everybody. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Use it as kind of like a tool to prepare yourself if you can, and just remember that whatever happened to me may not happen to you. It may just be a little bit different. Okay, so just to start, just to clear this up, if you guys didn't already know, I am in the Air National Guard, so I'm not active duty. That is the reason why I'm back home. I got a little bit lucky, and I have a break in training. I have quite a big break in training, actually. So I'm going to be back home here for another probably 7 or 8 months, something like that, before I do go to tech school. So you guys do have the unique experience with this video to actually get a perspective from somebody who literally just got back from BMT. I got back probably about 3 or 4 days ago. So luckily, everything I'm about to tell you guys is super fresh in my mind still. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that happens during BMT, you're stressed, you're tired, so it's kind of hard to remember a lot of that stuff because it does kind of go by very, very fast. I will tell you that right now. It does go by really quick, even though sometimes when you're in the process, it feels like you're gonna be there forever, but trust me, it goes by super, super quick. And a lot of the stuff that'll be happening to you at the time, you'll have trouble remembering it because everything happens so quickly to you. So first, to start things off, I know somebody's gonna ask what my AFSC is. I'm a 3N012, which is a video broadcaster. So like I said in my previous video before I left, when I do go to tech school in the fall, I'll be going to Fort Meade, Maryland, and I'll be doing the video broadcasting school there. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get right into the questions that you guys have kind of asked me and the comments that people have left me. So to start things off, I kind of want to answer this question here. And somebody asked me, what is BMT actually like? And to answer that question, really you have to go and experience it for yourself. But for me, it's like a whole nother world because you basically get stripped of everything that you already know, and you are told to do this, this, and this constantly. You're yelled at, you are pushed, and you are pressured to do all this different stuff, and you basically have to do it or you will fail. And then it's also just a completely different place. You're away from home, and for a lot of people who are younger, like people that were younger in my flight, it's maybe their first time being away from home and living on their own. So it's definitely a unique experience for everybody. The hardest thing for me really in the beginning was just getting used to not having my freedom anymore because I'm 28 years old. I've been living on my own for quite a long time, and I'm used to doing everything my way. So adapting to the Air Force's way of doing everything and learning all of those skills was a little bit, I'm not going to say it was hard, but it was a little bit difficult in the beginning just to adapt all that kind of stuff because of how I was used to living for so long. Another question that I got asked quite a lot, and somebody on the comments actually asked me this, I'm going to shout you out. Taylor Miokovic, sorry if I butchered that name, but Taylor Miokovic asked me, how awesome was 0 week? 0 week was not awesome. Looking back on it now, it's kind of funny to think about it. So in that sense, it's awesome, and to tell all the stories that happened. But it's really not fun when you're doing it yourself, because that's when they kind of apply a lot of the pressure. You basically don't know anything, even if you've watched videos on what the Air Force does or what any military does. It still will not fully prepare you for what's going to happen because you're going to be sleep deprived. They're going to throw a lot of information at you all at once and expect you to remember it. And if you don't remember it, you're gonna jack it up. You're gonna mess up a lot of stuff. That's just part of the process. Nobody's gonna be perfect. Nobody's gonna do everything right the first time. So just expect to screw something up and expect to get yelled at for it, but it's all part of the process, and how you deal with that kind of pressure, and how with the MTIs in general, it's kind of them seeing how you react to that pressure they apply to you, and how fast or quickly you can adjust and make those corrections, and then go along from that and make everything better. So the faster you can kind of adapt to that and what's happening to you, the better your life's gonna be. The people that I think had the hardest time with it were the people that were not used to being yelled at before, were not used to working under high stress or high pressure conditions. They had quite a hard time kind of adapting to people yelling at them and making them do things, at a very, very rapid pace, or with a sense of urgency, as they call it. So if you adapt to that really, really quickly, like I said, you'll be just fine. So like I said, in 0 week, it's just a lot of pressure being applied to you. They're gonna throw a lot of stuff at you. You're the new people in your dormitories or in your squadron, so you're gonna be walking around. You'll still have hair. You will not have your haircut till first week of training. So when you're in the 0 week, you'll be walking around with like your Apex parka. At least for me, I had my Apex parka on because we were in winter schedule. So we had our Apex parkas on, we had like jeans and pants on, and we had our sneakers on still. So you stick out like a sore thumb, and as you're marching, if any of the MTIs see you guys, they instantly just make a beeline for you, and they're ready to make corrections. So just expect, like I said, expect that's gonna happen, and your life's gonna be a lot easier as soon as you figure out what they're telling you and you adjust. All right, the next thing I want to discuss was a lot of people kind of commented on my age and asked why I was still joining at this age. But somebody actually did leave a really cool comment. His name is ZZ Staff. He said, "You are never too old until you are too old to get in even with a waiver." So that's very, very true, especially for my flight. So I was actually not the oldest person in my flight. So if you were my age or even a little bit older and you were still thinking about joining the military, Air Force, whatever in general, don't be discouraged of it just because of your age, because in my flight, I actually had 3 other people that were 28 years old. I had somebody that was 27. We had a lot of people that were like 25 and up. And then I also had a 31-year-old in my flight. So it's pretty common these days, especially in the Guard and Reserve, to have people that are older. So if you're like me and you kind of wanted to get into it at an older age, don't feel discouraged. Just do what you want to do and you'll be fine. You actually will have a lot more maturity going into it. And I think the older people actually do a lot better in BMT because you're kind of used to some of the stuff that's happening, or you've seen it at least in your life experience. So you'll come out with a lot more, I guess, accolades at the end of it. All right, and segueing off that, speaking of accolades, somebody did ask what I actually, if any accolades or at all that I did receive while I was there. And I did, yeah, so I did get honor grad. So I got that, which is pretty cool. And I definitely think that, being older, definitely attributed to that, because to get honor grad, you have to make sure you get at least above a 90 on your PT test. You have to get above a 90 on the EOC. And then you also have to make sure you get through the entire process without getting a U or an unsatisfactory, which is just basically what you get for screwing up or leaving your security drawer unlocked and someone finding it, or doing something stupid. And then they kind of type your name in the computer and give you a U for the week. So don't do any of that kind of stuff and you'll be fine. Let's see what else I did. Well, I was very, very close to getting Warhawk. I actually did get it, but going from that, some of your guys' training squadrons may have a problem with their running system. What they call it is like the run chip system. So they put a little microchip like in a band, and they put it around your ankle for when you do your timed runs. And the MTIs and even the fitness people have already admitted that it is wrong. At least in my squadron, they know that the times are off, but there's really nothing they can do about it. They say that it's calibrated, but they already know that it's a known issue. So just keep that in mind, you guys. So like, I will tell you, my entire flight, everybody's run times, for their final PT test, everybody's run times were off by anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. So me and my dorm chief actually got cheated out of getting Warhawk by only a couple of seconds. He got a 9:15, I believe, and I got a 9:16. When we actually timed it and ran it, we both know he got about, I think he said he got like a 9 or an 8:45, and I got an 8:50, something like that. I was right behind him. I got like an 8:50, but as soon as the times came out, our times were off by quite a bit. So just keep that in mind when you guys do your PT test and whatnot. Just know that you may have to run a little bit faster just to make sure that the whole run thing actually picks up your correct time. But I'm not salty over it too much because getting Warhawk, all you really get is a certificate. You do get a town pass on Sunday, so it is a great thing to go for, and that's the reason why I was doing that, to go for it. But I did end up getting a town pass on Sunday anyway because my flight got top academic flight as well. So that's another accolade that I basically took home and I can be proud of. So it's really cool. I'm really proud of my flight for that. We again, because I think we had some older people in the flight, that was probably a main reason why we ended up getting top academic flight like that. So me personally got 95 on the EOC, and it's not, I'm not gonna say it's easy to do that, but it's the only thing you really have to do in a certain week or two of the schedule is study. Like in your personal time, if you're just using your personal time to study like you're supposed to be, you're gonna do so good on that test, and you're gonna look at all the questions and be like, wow, I know every single one of these. So and that's kind of how I felt. So just study and you guys will do fine. All right, and another thing I wanted to talk about was the fact that I actually was in a band flight. Yeah, so like I play drums. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that on the channel or not, but the first night when you got there, they kind of lined everybody up and they were checking everybody in. And one of the first things the MTIs did were they came down in the PRC, and somebody just addressed us all and said, all right, so this is an integrity question for all of you right now. So they said, if any of you has ever played an instrument in your entire life, please step forward now. So the first reaction I see everybody, they look around, they just go, I ain't gonna step forward. I don't know what this is for. But I looked to my left and I saw that one of my buddies that I flew down there with, that's actually from my unit, or my guard base, he stepped forward right away. And I was like, well, if he's gonna do it, I might as well do it. Who knows, maybe it'll be cool, because I kind of knew in my mind exactly what they were gonna do. I knew I was gonna end up being in a band flight. So we stepped forward. Sure enough, they basically just said, all right, all of you guys that step forward, get over here. You guys are now band flight. So one thing I will tell you, as far as I know, if you are in a band flight, you will 100% get into the Disneyland dorms. That's what I stayed in. I stayed in the Disneyland dorms, which is the newer ones, aside from the other ones I believe people refer to as Alcatraz. So I can confirm they're a bit nicer. I mean, it's still a military dorm. It looks like a prison, but and it's kind of designed that way for for a specific purpose. But it's a lot nicer. It's a lot better laid out, I believe. The showers are a lot bigger, so you don't have to do what they call, I think it's called like a shower circle or something, or the shower shuffle or something like that. You have plenty of room in your latrine to like get everybody in there and shower at the same time, so it's a lot less hassle for stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys do play an instrument and you guys are thinking about it, band flight is actually pretty cool. On certain days where all the other flights are out just doing drill, you get to go to the band hall, you get to play an instrument, and you get to kind of have fun with it. It's another thing you kind of have to worry about and do, because you do have to play during, like in your 6th week, you got to play for, if the graduating 8th week flight that week in your 6th week of training doesn't have a band flight, like mine did, we ended up having to play for their retreat ceremony and for their parade ceremony in my 6th week of training. So we kind of got we were lucky, we kind of got a trial run with all of the ceremonies in the 6th week of training. So when we came around to our 8th week of training, when we had to do it for our own ceremonies, it was super easy. All of us already knew what we were doing, and it was a breeze. So and that's also another way you can actually get a Sunday town pass, is if you're in a band flight and you play really good, the commander can actually give you guys a Sunday town pass based on how awesome you play. So it's just another really cool thing that you can add to your experience and say that you did. Okay, so I know that other YouTubers that have gone to BMT and stuff like that have made a complete like video series on what BMT is like week by week. And I'm not gonna do that, because I'm not gonna make my channel just into like a BMT channel. That's not what this channel is. I wanna get back to our regular scheduled programming on this channel. But again, I'm here to kind of provide some information to you guys, and if you guys have questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed listening to kind of like a little bit of my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed me answering a couple of your guys' specific questions. Again, I will do another follow-up video to this if you guys have more specific questions. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to open it up. If you guys have a bunch of questions about BMT after seeing this video, make sure you leave it in the comments below. I will answer every single one of them in a follow-up video. I meant to tell you guys that in my last video, basically, so this video I'm doing right now could have been that, but it's okay. We can do that in another video. I have no problem with that. So I will do another follow-up video just basically being an ask me anything about BMT. So I look forward to that. I want to hear what you guys have to ask about BMT because I have a wealth of knowledge right now. It's all still fresh in my head. I tried to answer and kind of explain as much as I could, but without you guys asking me specific questions, it's hard to kind of just spout off a bunch of stuff that happened in BMT that is specific. So if you guys have specific questions, leave them down below and I will be happy to answer you guys. But until then, we need to get back to our regular scheduled programming on this channel. I have so much stuff for you guys. It's unbelievable. I have all sorts of stuff that I have planned to review and do for you guys. So you know, my hands are a little empty right now, but if I go maybe like this, holy crap, where'd all this cool stuff come from? So yeah, you guys need to stay tuned to the channel because I have all sorts of cool stuff that I'm going to be reviewing and then I'm going to be adding to my computer back there. So if you guys keep it right here, you're going to see a lot more of that stuff on the channel. Again, make sure you leave your comments down below and I will do a follow-up video for more BMT stuff. But that's going to be it for me today, you guys. I am very happy to be back. And I'm really happy to be making videos for you guys again. I just want to say thank you to all of you that still supported the channel while I was gone for 2 months. I really enjoyed reading all your guys' comments and all the feedback you guys gave me while I was gone. So I will definitely take all that stuff and I will put it into making my future videos and making this channel better than it ever could be. So until the next video, guys, I will see you later. Peace.